Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our monthly ASEAN 2015 Challenges and Opportunities program in English. My name is Dr. Wilfried, and as you know, I'm the Executive Director of the Human Development Forum Foundation, a registered Thai non-for-profit organization. We are running a couple of programs for the ASEAN 2015 Community Program, as well as international workshops in English. Our main topic today is on Iran and ASEAN 2015. The actual global detente towards the Islamic Republic of Iran, or short Iran, creates a lot of opportunities for ASEAN as well. However, in the ASEAN community, not many people know about anything in Iran. Therefore, I invited a very special guest who is born in Iran and works at the University of Tehran, Mr. Ebert Ebadi, and he can give us definitely some inside views from this interesting country. Good evening, Mr. Ebert. Welcome to our program, and please introduce yourself briefly.
Good evening, Dr. Wilfred. Thank you for having me here. I'm born in Iran, as you said, and I studied at the University of Tehran. And then I, moved to London and studied economics, my further study at the University at London School of Economics and Political Science. And then I came back to Iran, and I started my career as a lecturer at the University of Tehran and as an economic consultant for a private firm. And of course, I've done research on Iranian economy for National Iranian Competition Council and also for Iranian Chamber of Commerce. And in those studies, we studied for new partners, trade partners for Iran, and ASEAN is one of those partners that we are looking for.
Okay, thank you very much for this first introduction, and we have now a short commercial break.
แต่รู้ไหมว่าขยะเหล่านี้สามารถนำมารีไซเคิลเป็นสมุดสิ่งที่มีค่าสำหรับพวกเขาได้ด้วยแนวคิดการใช้ทรัพยากรธรรมชาติอย่างรู้คุณค่าและให้เกิดประโยชน์สูงสุดทำให้ดอนเมืองโทเวย์ได้เริ่มดำเนินโครงการสมุดกรีนเวย์โครงการเพื่อยกระดับสิ่งแวดล้อมให้คงอยู่ชั่วลูกชั่วหลานตราบนานเท่านานโทเวย์กรีนเวย์
คูปองดิจิตอลทีวีกสทช.มาแล้วค่ะคูปองครับต่อดูดิจิตอลทีวีที่เขาบอกว่าคูปองดิจิตอลทีวีมาแล้วครับ
วันนี้คูปองมูลค่า690 บาทใช้แลกกล่องเซ็ตท็อปบ็อกซ์หรือเป็นส่วนลดซื้อทีวีดิจิตอลได้ที่ศูนย์จำหน่ายที่มีสัญลักษณ์โครงการ
อย่าลืมอ่านก่อนแล้วเตรียมเอกสารให้ครบนะครับ
แจกแล้ว42จังหวัดภายในสิ้นปีนี้ดิจิตอลทีวีดูดีทุกบ้าน
บริษัท IRPC จำกัดมหาชนพร้อมก้าวสู่ผู้นำด้านปิโตรเคมีและการกลั่นครบวงจร
Welcome back to our ASEAN 2015 Challenges and Opportunities full English program. Today's main topic is Iran and ASEAN 2015. So, without further delay, let's jump into the topic, and Mr. Ebert from the University in Tehran will try to clarify some major questions related to this topic. My first question in this context would be, can you explain please the most recent developments in Iran and around Iran?
As you know, this July, after almost 12 years of negotiation between Iran and world powers, Iran reached to the nuclear deal with P5+1 countries over its nuclear activities. And P5+1 refers to world powers, namely Germany, Russia, China, Britain, France, and United States. By this agreement, which is called the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, Iran agrees to reduce its nuclear activity in return of removing sanctions. The impact of US and EU sanctions on Iranian economy was really hard because the year after the sanctions, the Iranian growth rate goes to minus 6.6%, which the last year before the sanctions were imposed, it was above 4% economic growth for Iran. So as you can see, there was a huge impact on Iranian economy. By changing the government, the new government, they're starting a new dialogue with the world powers. And they could reach to an agreement on this July 2015, which opens the doors for Iran economy to attract investors in Iran. And by removing the sanctions, Iran can reach to its freeze monies on other banks around the world. And of course, it can raise its oil production and exports. So the sanctions is the beginning of a path for Iranian economy. It's an open door that Iran can boost its economy. And investors are coming to Iran. Right now, Shell and Total oil companies, they have started oil negotiations with Iran. And as you know, the UK embassy reopened in Tehran. So the new era for Iran has begun. And Iran looks forward to continue this kind of dialogue in terms of politics, economics, and even cultural, issues with the world. So this removing of sanctions, the removing of sanctions changed a lot in the future, and it begins with Iranian economy.
That's a very interesting point. The sanctions will give you a chance, or the lifting of the sanctions will give you a chance to further develop. I mean, you mentioned Germany. We have traditionally good relations, but what about the relations to ASEAN? Is there any idea inside Iran about ASEAN and what people in Iran think about ASEAN?
It may be interesting that, that before the sanctions, Singapore was one of the, most important trade partners with Iran. After the sanctions, Singapore didn't import oil from Iran, and it actually, cut in the half the imports of oil from Singapore. And the sanctions opens the gate for new trade, especially in oil. Because, due to sanctions, the Iranian exports halved in just 1 year. And Zanganeh, the Iranian oil minister, had made comments that after removing sanctions, Iran will raise its oil production to over 2 million barrels per day. That was the amount before the sanctions. And it's the double of the amount that Iran is currently exports to the world. So Iran is going to seek the place that it had before. On the other part, Asia and ASEAN is an emerging market, so it needs oil to, boost its economy. It needs oil to improve its economy. And Iran seems to be a reliable partner in this field. As you know, Saudi Arabia and other countries around the Persian Gulf, they have conflicts because of, starting a war in Yemen. And on the other hand, Iran is going to be more stable in the future because of starting a new dialogue with the world and removing the sanctions. So on one hand, you have a stable country, and on the other hand, other countries are going to be more unstable. So I think Iran would be a good trade partner in the future for ASEAN regarding its oil trade, and also regarding to gas, natural gas. Iran is the second largest proved natural gas reserve. It has the second largest proved natural gas reserves, and by completing the peace pipeline, ASEAN can have another option for, importing natural gas. But here's the big if the peace pipeline is going to be constructed.
Can you explain a little bit about this peace pipeline? Which countries are involved and where are the obstacles from your idea?
Yeah, the peace pipeline is the main idea is to transport or import of the natural gas from Iran through Pakistan to India. So the final destination is intended to be India. And the problem is like there is more than one problem. Pakistan hasn't constructed its own part. In some points, India refused to continue to build the peace pipeline by the pressure that has been put by United States. So there are things that, the things is not between these three countries anymore. Sometimes other players come around and they just stop these project to be completed. But we have to wait and see how it goes with removing sanctions and having the new, figure from Iran.
So in fact, we need to wait for peace.
Yes, of course.
Not just for the peace pipeline.
Yeah, peace
because
between the neighbors.
I think the way of this very ambitious pipeline to connect these three countries is, from my point of view, quite a challenge. If we look at Pakistan, we have Balochistan which is not stable for them as well. LNG will be the future, but first we have to bring it to the place where it should be.
Yeah.
One small question, maybe just one short minute view. How is the life of Iranian people, normal Iranian people today?
What do you mean by the normal Iranian people?
I mean
the ordinary people.
No, ordinary people.
Actually, it may be interesting for you, but because the life in Iran is like, it has fun. Iranian knows how to have fun.
Okay.
Yeah, even in the worst situation, even with the economic sanctions, they are happy. Okay. I don't mean that because of the sanctions they are happy, because the life is hard on Iranian. Of course, it was hard, and I hope it will be better, because they're spending on by their saving. The economic situation is really bad, but still they find a way to have fun, to go out, and of course to travel. And they are very welcoming people. If you come to Iran, they're going to be very hospitable, and they like inviting you to their homes, offering you their foods, and they really, respect their guests. So it's a really beautiful place to visit, and it's a shame that in the news it's always about the worst part of Iran.
Okay, thank you very much. I think this is a good point now to have some thoughts on it and to have a commercial.
มันเป็นขยะแต่รู้ไหมว่าขยะเหล่านี้สามารถนำมารีไซเคิลเป็นสมุดสิ่งที่มีค่าสำหรับพวกเขาได้ ด้วยแนวคิดการใช้ทรัพยากรธรรมชาติอย่างรู้คุณค่าและให้เกิดประโยชน์สูงสุดทำให้ดอนเมืองโทเวย์ได้เริ่มดำเนินโครงการสมุดกรีนเวย์โครงการเพื่อยกระดับสิ่งแวดล้อมให้คงอยู่ชั่วลูกชั่วหลานตราบนานเท่านานโทเวย์กรีนเวย์
คูปองดิจิตอลทีวีกสทช.มาแล้วค่ะ อุ๊บคูปองครับพร้อมรอดูดิจิตอลทีวีซึ่งเขาบอกว่าคูปองดิจิตอลทีวีมาแล้วครับ
วันนี้คูปองมูลค่า690 บาทใช้แลกกล่องเซ็ตท็อปบ็อกซ์หรือเป็นส่วนลดซื้อทีวีดิจิตอลได้ที่ศูนย์จำหน่ายที่มีสัญลักษณ์โครงการ
อย่าลืมอ่านก่อนแล้วเตรียมเอกสารให้ครบนะครับ
แจกแล้ว42จังหวัดภายในสิ้นปีนี้ดิจิตอลทีวีดูดีทุกบ้าน
บริษัท IRPC จำกัดมหาชนพร้อมก้าวสู่ผู้นำด้านปิโตรเคมีและการกลั่นครบวงจร
Welcome back. Here is the ASEAN 2015 Challenges and Opportunities program in English with today's topic Iran and ASEAN 2015. My guest, Mr. Ebert from the University in Tehran, explained some ideas, political ideas, but also daily life. And for me, interesting was that with the nuclear deal and the lifting of the sanctions, Iran can move upwards and also can develop further. On the other side, what is very interesting is that despite all the hardships, the Iranian people are still having a heart for fun and enjoy their life despite the hardships. And Ebert described very nicely what we experience in many societies, that the people, if they are poorer and more conscious, they are having more hospitality, they are not so greedy, and this is one thing which also contributes to be happy to share, even if you don't have much to share. Very interesting topics. So if you want to sum up in one last thought, what would you give for the future development of Iran and your wish for that?
I believe that by improving the Iranian economy, most of the issues will be improved. Like if the Iranian economy is going to be stable, is going to be having the more growth in the future, maybe the society will be better, and I believe it will be better, and people will be happier. And for doing this, Iran needs to find more trade partners like ASEAN, and there are many opportunities for this trade, like oil and gas field, agriculture, you know, the investment of ASEAN countries in Iran, because Iran has the large, it's the second most populous country in the Middle East with 80.8 million. So it's a good market, and the market is untouched, so it's a good opportunity for people to invest in Iran. And you know, there is the Iranian people, they have the potential to work hard to boost their economy, and the population is young, so it's a society that is ready to boost its economy, and it's ready to improve. It just needs a little push, maybe from, I hope, from inside, or maybe from outside, but it needs a little bit push to boost its economy and making the place better than before.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ebert. I think from my perspective, all these changes and push should come primarily from inside.
Yeah.
Outside is limited to advice and investment.
Exactly.
But the people should find their own way in their own culture, because interventionism normally doesn't lead to any major success, except the Second World War. But this is a long time ago.
But maybe in economics, it does make any difference. Yeah.
Okay, this concludes our program today. I would like to thank our guest, Mr. Ebert from Tehran, from inside Iran, for your contributions and thoughts. And I would like to thank you for the team before and behind the camera. And goodbye, and see you next month for our full English program.